We have been in Cambodia for about 25 years now, and most of that time was in the rural areas, which we really liked. We knew that God was sending us to the city, and I had no idea what to do. It wasn't hard to find the neighborhood behind our house along the railroad tracks because the train comes through several times a day. There's children playing and growing up, all where life has to stop and you move the kids off the track when the train comes through. I've always tried to minister to the kids. I just feel it's my responsibility to tell anybody that is little and might be missed. They come and start screaming at the gate, "Teacher, teacher, are you home?" I'd start opening the gate and they'd come in, and then once that happened, you have to teach them about Jesus. I just put out a mat and the kids would come and sit down and we'd do a Bible study together. And there was one child whose mother called him Monkey Child, who was really the worst of all of them. It was very hard for me to hold on to him and also pay attention to the other kids. And this girl, this older girl, started coming and she'd pull him off to the side, and that turned out to be Ali.
I remember seeing Heather pass by the railroad tracks on her way to the market. Her smile and her laugh filled me with hope. When she started meeting with the neighborhood kids, I went to help with my little brother. But really, I was there for myself. Heather invited me to a house where she taught me more about Jesus. We would sing and pray together. I began to feel close to Heather, and I would go to her when things were difficult at home.
She had deep emotional wounds. For sometimes a week at a time, she would be silent. And she also had a lot of spiritual oppression. One night she sat there for a long time trying to get up her nerve to say something, and finally she started telling the story of her family. Ali's mother was just constantly drunk. I would step over her, passed out on the road. Ali had to take over the responsibilities of the family and take care of the other children, but she had no one to defend her. She had been abused by the men in her family in ways that no little girl should ever be. She also shared that in order to make money, her family sold her to other men.
Sometimes I was overcome by darkness and I would fall into a deep depression. My grandmother would take me to the witch doctor, but I was never healed. Heather wept with me and told me that if I would trust in Jesus, He would help me and heal me. I decided to trust Him, and I saw that He was more powerful than the dark spirits. Life is still difficult and I'm still healing, but I'm no longer alone. I know I can depend on Jesus.
As we started to work her out of the physical problems and the emotional problems, I started thinking and asking God, what am I going to do to get her someplace safe?
Heather told me lots of stories from her time teaching at the rural Bible school before coming to Phnom Penh. Her students were like family to her. One day, Heather asked me if I would like to attend the Bible school. I thought that because of my family situation, I wouldn't be able to go. But God worked a miracle and provided everything I needed. Just like Heather said, the students became a family to me. I was safe, I had a new hope, and I grew closer to Jesus. Today, I'm a changed person.
She did very well. Her teachers even say that she is the best preacher of her group, which is pretty amazing for a kid who couldn't speak when they started. There's such hopelessness along those railroad tracks. There's no way out unless someone is there to lift you out and show you Jesus, and then Jesus can get you out of this situation. And Ali is now able to do that for the other members of her family.
It was no accident that Heather came to the railroad tracks. It was God's plan. I see children around me who don't have parents that pay attention to them or teach them or provide for them. I see them experiencing the same things I did, and I can help them and show them who Jesus is.
I don't think there's any way that I can go out and explain the gospel to somebody clearly enough so that they can become a believer on my own. But I can go to the place where God is sending me, and I can talk to the people that God is putting in my path, especially when God tells me that this person is important. You should spend more time with this person. And then God can use me to say the things that He wants to say to that person, to lead them to know Him. There are times that I doubt God, that I wonder, is He really real? Because things seem so awful. And then I look at Ali, and there's no other explanation for the changes that I've seen in her life. except that there really is a God and He really does care, and He really can change things for the better.